You wake up tired, not because you worked hard, but because your soul is starving. You reach for your phone, first instinct, and let the world hijack your mind before you even stand. Scroll, numb, repeat. You say you're just resting, but deep down, you know, you're not resting. You're rotting. You were built for war, but you've been trained for weakness. Soft beds, soft food, soft thoughts. And now, you're shackled, not by iron, but by comfort. By dopamine chains you locked on yourself. Every skipped workout, every broken promise, every "I'll do it tomorrow" forged another link around your potential. Look in the mirror. That ghost staring back? That's the man you could have been if you didn't run from the fire. But hear this. The fire's not dead. It's buried under excuses, distractions, and fear, and only you can dig it out. Reset your mind, or stay a slave forever. The choice is yours, but the clock is not, and it's already running out. If you're done being weak, done being a prisoner in your own head, then drop the words, "No more chains," in the comments, right now. Let the world know this version of you is dead, and a new one is coming, silent, cold, and relentless. This channel isn't for everyone. It's not here to comfort you. It's here to crush the weakness out of you, to sharpen your mind like steel, to remind you who the hell you were meant to be. If that's what you want, subscribe, lock in. Because every video here is a weapon, poised to rebuild your discipline, your focus, your fire. No fluff, no mercy, just war against the parts of you holding you back. Join the brotherhood, or keep living soft. Your move. You were born free. But you live like a slave, not to a king, not to a tyrant, to yourself, to your comfort, to your weakness, to your fear. Every man today is told he's free, yet his mind is chained by invisible forces. Screens, notifications, validation, lust. He moves through life like a zombie, scrolling instead of thinking, reacting instead of leading, consuming instead of creating, and it's killing him. You think you're depressed? You're not. You're distracted. You're overstimulated. You've filled every quiet moment with noise. And now, silence feels unbearable. That silence? That's where your power lives. That's where the voice of your higher self speaks. But you haven't heard it in years, because you've trained your brain to chase the next dopamine hit. Junk food, porn, endless reels, useless debates. You've become a slave to cheap pleasure, and pleasure is the enemy of power. The Stoics knew this. They understood that freedom begins where self-mastery begins, not in laws, not in politics, in your mind. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius, this is your wake-up call. This is your war. You must reset your mind. Because if you don't, you will stay a slave forever. A slave to your worst habits. A slave to your lowest emotions. A slave to a world that profits off your weakness. Look around you. Men are sleepwalking through life. They look alive, but they're hollow inside. No purpose, no edge, no fire, just constant chasing. Women, money, distraction, hoping something fills the void, but nothing fills it. Because the void was never meant to be filled with things. It was meant to be filled with discipline, with meaning, with mission. You've felt it, haven't you? That ache, deep inside your gut. The one that whispers, you were made for more. You try to silence it, but it keeps coming back. In the quiet moments, in the mirror, in the regret. This is not about motivation. This is about reconstruction. Burning the old soft version of you to the ground and forging something harder, colder, cleaner. This video is not for comfort. It is a blueprint for war. A war against distraction. A war against weakness. A war against the version of you that chose easy over honorable. So here's what we do. We reset, not with morning affirmations and soft self-love, but with ancient fire, with discipline, with philosophy, with pain that shapes you, not breaks you. You want to become untouchable, emotionally calm, mentally sharp, stoically unbreakable? Then listen closely. We're going deep into the laws of the Stoic mind. 7 brutal truths that will reset your wiring and set you free. No more half steps, no more delay. This is your path. And it begins now. Not violence, not chaos, just constant noise. It's the first thing you touch in the morning in your phone. Before you even take a breath. Before you move a muscle. You hand over your mind to the world and the world doesn't sharpen you. It sedates you. TikTok, Instagram, notifications, porn, DMs, Spotify, WhatsApp, noise, noise, noise. You are being hunted, not by a man with a gun, but by an algorithm with precision. Your attention is the prize. Your soul is the collateral. And you're giving it away like it means nothing. Let me say it plain. If you do not control your mind, someone else will. And right now, someone else is. They decide what you think about, what you fear, what you crave, and how soft you've become. You don't even know your own thoughts anymore. You don't have time for them because every silent second is filled with noise. You walk with headphones, eat with videos, drive with music, sleep with distractions. You've never sat alone, in a room, in stillness, with your own mind. Because it terrifies you. Why? Because you know it'll show you the truth that you've betrayed yourself, the truth that you ran from your mission, the truth that your potential is still rotting in silence. But this isn't about guilt. This is about taking it back. Part I, the addicted mind, you are not weak. You are overstimulated. And stimulation kills presence, it kills patience, it kills discipline. You've trained your brain to only move when it's entertained. If it doesn't flash, ding, or hit you with a rush, you check out. That's not power. That's slavery. That's rewiring your entire nervous system to live off breadcrumbs and call it a feast. You think you can't focus? No. You just never practiced silence. You never trained your mind to sit still and hunt meaning. Because the second silence hits, you run, scroll, open something, distract. It's a dopamine loop, and it's engineered to keep you numb. But numb men don't build empires. Numb men don't rise from heartbreak. Numb men don't become warriors. Part 2. Ancient stillness. The Stoics had no notifications, no buzz, no pressure to be seen. Heard, liked, followed, and yet they were more aware, more alive, more focused than most modern men will ever be. Why? Because they sought stillness, not to escape the world but to understand it, to understand themselves. Marcus Aurelius ruled the Roman Empire and still woke at dawn to write in his private journal, alone, in silence. Why? To clear his mind, to remember who he was, to command his soul before the world could touch it. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Marcus Aurelius, he found strength in silence. But you reach for your screen before you reach for your own thoughts. You check the world before you check your purpose, and then wonder why your confidence is gone, why you feel fake, why you're always behind. Why peace never lasts, because the battlefield is internal, and you left your weapon behind. Part 3. Silence is a weapon. Let me tell you something most men never learn. Silence is not weakness. It is a weapon, because only a silent mind can see clearly. Only a silent man can choose his path with force. You know what happens when you cut the noise. You hear the voice again, not the weak voice, not the emotional one, not the scared little child, but the warrior voice, the commander, the inner steel, that voice that says, stand up, stop lying, move forward, earn it. But you've buried it under garbage for so long, you forgot it was there. Silence brings it back. So, turn everything off. No phone in the morning, no music in the gym, no podcasts while walking, no background Netflix while eating. Nothing. At first, it will be agonizing. You'll feel like you're losing your mind. Good. That's the old addiction, screaming while it dies. Stay in that pain. Walk through it. Breathe through it. Let it burn the filth out of your brain. And in that space, you will start to remember who you are. Part 4. Morning stillness. Every morning you wake up. You face a fork in the road. Path 1. Grab your phone, scroll, check messages, plug into distraction, and spend the next 16 hours reacting like a puppet. Path 2. Sit in silence for 15 minutes. Breathe. Think. Command. One makes you a slave. The other makes you a leader. Which one are you choosing? Stillness in the morning is sacred, because that's when the world is quietest. It's your chance to set the tone before chaos floods in. So here's your new rule. No phone for 1 hour after waking. You wake up, you breathe, you journal, you walk, you drink water, you move. In silence, train your mind to obey your will, not a screen. You're not some soft modern man reacting to every beep like a lab rat. You're stoic steel. You move when you choose, not when the world calls. Part 5. Kill the noise in battle noise. Doesn't just come from devices, it comes from people, from drama, from energy leeches, from fake friendships that distract you from your mission. Every time you let a weak man speak into your life, every time you engage in nonsense, every time you entertain emotional chaos, you let noise pollute your clarity. Cut them off, not with hate, but with silence. You don't owe explanations. You owe yourself the space to rise. You don't have to be accessible to everyone. You only need to be available to your mission. Seneca said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you. If they don't build you, they blur you. And blurred men get blindsided in battle." Part 6. How to reclaim your mind. Let's get tactical. This is how you start killing the noise and taking your mind back. Digital fast, 48 hours. Delete every social media app for 48 hours. No excuses. Watch your addiction scream. Let it. You're detoxing. Silence challenge, 15 minutes daily. Sit alone, no phone, no music, no movement, just thoughts. Every day. Watch the chaos settle. Sunrise discipline. Wake up before the world. Go outside. No phone. Move your body. Breathe. Journal. Lead your mind before the world invades it. Walk without sound. No headphones. No calls. Just walk. Let your mind wander. That's where clarity lives. Clean house, cut toxic people. Cut weak influences. Cut noise sources. Unfollow, unsubscribe, disappear if you must. Set daily intentions. 1 sentence. 1 mission, written down every morning. You are not a leaf, you are a blade. Part 37. The return of the commander. When the noise dies, the commander returns. You will hear your thoughts again. You will feel your discipline rise. You will regain control over what enters your mind. You'll move with force. You'll speak with weight. You'll stop chasing and start building. You'll stop reacting and start leading. Noise makes you soft. Silence makes you sharp. The Stoic warrior lived in the real world, but he ruled his inner world. That's your job now. That's your war, so kill the noise. Reclaim the throne, reset your mind, or stay a slave. Freedom isn't found in doing whatever you want. Freedom is found in doing what must be done even when you don't feel like it. You were told that discipline is restrictive, that it's toxic, rigid, obsessive. You were lied to. Because here's the cold truth. Without discipline, you are not free. You are a slave to your moods, to your urges, to your laziness, to your pain. And every time you choose comfort over commitment, you tighten the chains. Part I. Soft culture. Soft men. You've been raised in a culture that praises, Ease, rest, relax. Take it slow. Be kind to yourself. But what they don't say is that men who overindulge in ease rot from the inside out. They lose their edge. They become emotionally fragile. They need a reward just to do the basics. Worse, they start to identify with their weakness, and then they defend it like it's sacred. Discipline is labeled toxic while comfort is worshipped, but no man ever built a legacy by chasing what feels good. Discipline isn't toxic. It's masculine. It's necessary. It's your path to inner freedom. No man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus, Part 2. What discipline really is? Forget the Instagram version of discipline. It's not about aesthetics, not about cold showers and bragging online, not about gym selfies and hustle porn. Discipline is war, daily war, internal war. It's dragging yourself to do the thing you hate because you know the man you want to be needs it. Discipline is eating the right food when junk is easier. It's writing when your mind wants to scroll. It's training when you'd rather rest. It's walking away from drama when your ego wants to fight. It's going to bed early when everyone else is watching just one more episode. Discipline is bleeding now, so you don't bleed later. It's putting your mission before your mood. Part 3. Pain is the price of freedom. You want peace? You want power? You want self-respect? Then you pay the price. And the currency is pain, not loud pain, silent pain. The pain of waking up early. The pain of training in cold weather. The pain of skipping dopamine hits. The pain of delayed gratification. The pain of doing it alone, with no applause. The Stoics didn't fear pain. They embraced it. Because pain is the forge where strength is born. Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Seneca, every man you admire, real men, they earned their calm through chaos, their strength through sacrifice, their discipline through daily pain. Part 4. The discipline-freedom paradox. Here's what most men never understand. Discipline feels like prison, but it leads to power. Comfort feels like freedom, but it leads to weakness. Discipline means structure. Structure gives clarity. Clarity births confidence, and confidence is the sharpest edge a man can carry. Think about it. When your body is trained, you walk differently. When your mind is sharp, you speak differently. When your emotions are mastered, you lead differently. You become a weapon, not a leaf in the wind, but a blade in the storm. But you don't get there by accident. You get there through a routine that hurts, through relentless discipline when no one's watching, through hard choices that make your soul bleed. That's where real freedom lives, not on beaches, not in holidays. In the silence of the morning when you train alone, in the grind, in the boredom, in the blood. Part 2. Your discipline is your identity. You can't be a disciplined man and keep the same habits as a lazy one. You can't talk about wanting to lead and then sleep in every day. You can't dream of building a legacy and then scroll through garbage all night. That's hypocrisy. And the Stoic mind has no room for self-delusion. You want to change your identity? Start with your habits. Every small act of discipline reinforces your self-respect. Every skipped shortcut, every earned win, every silent sacrifice builds the inner voice that says, I do what needs to be done. Not for applause, not for validation, but because that's who I am now. Part 6. The myth of motivation. You keep waiting for motivation, but motivation is emotional, and emotion is unreliable. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline is what remains when it leaves. You don't train because you feel like it. You train because your mission demands it. You don't journal because it's fun. You journal because a cluttered mind is a liability. You don't fast because it's cool. You fast because hunger sharpens your soul. Waiting for motivation is like waiting for the wind to blow your ship to shore. You'll drift forever. Discipline is you grabbing the oars and rowing, bleeding, sweating, breaking until you arrive. Part 7. The body is a reflection of the mind. Don't get it twisted. This is not about having abs. This is about having control. Because when you discipline your body, you train your brain. You stop negotiating with weakness. You stop making room for softness. You harden your system from the inside out. Your body becomes a temple, not for vanity, but for war. Every drop of sweat, every rep, every early morning run burns the weak man out of you. And with every layer of fat you strip away, you uncover a man of steel, built from grit, not genetics, from principle, not pleasure. That's why physical training is not optional for a Stoic mind. It's foundational. If your body is undisciplined, your mind follows. If your body is forged in hardship, your soul becomes untouchable. Part 8. How to build ruthless discipline. Let's get tactical. Here's how you build discipline like the ancients. Choose a standard, not a feeling. Don't wake up asking how you feel. Wake up and follow the code. Set a minimum standard and meet it no matter what. Eliminate choice. Decide once. No renegotiating. You don't feel like doing it. You do it anyway. That's the rule. Set daily rituals. Wake up. Make your bed. Train. Journal. Cold shower. Eat clean. Discipline loves ritual. Automate your greatness. Track your wins every day. Write down what you did right. Stack the wins. Build momentum. Let the scoreboard fuel your inner fire. Use pain as fuel. Remember the moments you were weak, ashamed, humiliated. Use them. Burn them. Let them drive you. You don't go back there ever again. Crush the inner voice. That voice that says, it's okay to skip today. That voice is the enemy. Kill it. Replace it with command. Win the first hour. The morning is the battleground. Own it and the day bends to your will. Part 9. The man you become. Every act of discipline is a vote for the man you want to become. Not a dream, not a fantasy, a real man. One that exists, one you're building, brick by brutal brick. You think it's small, skipping sugar, running in the rain, waking up early. But every small win is a declaration. I am no longer a slave. Every discipline carved into your day becomes part of your DNA. And that version of you? He doesn't flinch, he doesn't break, he doesn't chase approval, he builds, he leads, he endures. That version of you walks through chaos like a ghost, calm, focused, ruthless, untouchable. Part X. Final command. You want freedom? Earn it. Through suffering with purpose. Through delayed gratification. Through command over chaos. Discipline is the new freedom. It's not a trend. It's not a challenge. It's a code. A way of life. A razor-sharp blade against every distraction, addiction, and weakness trying to pull you under. So decide, right here, right now, what do you want more? Comfort or command? Because the disciplined man, he bleeds early so he doesn't bleed forever. You're not stuck. You're haunted. Haunted by who you used to be. By what you lost. By what you didn't do. By what they did to you. You try to move forward, but your past has claws, dragging behind you like chains. Every step you take, it whispers, you failed. You broke. You're not enough. But here's the truth no one tells you. You will never become the man you're meant to be if you keep worshiping the corpse of who you used to be. You cannot carry the ashes and build the fire. You have to choose. Part Y. The illusion of. The past, your past, is not real. It's not a place, it's not a prison, it's a memory. And a memory has only the power you choose to give it. But most men, they give it everything. They live in flashbacks. They replay heartbreak like a movie. They relive failures like scars being reopened every morning. They let one betrayal define every relationship. One mistake define their identity. They don't live in the present. They exist in the shadow of what's gone. That is not Stoicism. That is self-destruction. Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. Seneca, if today is your only life, why do you keep bringing yesterday's pain into it? You are not the man who failed. You are the man who learned. Or, you're still the man who's stuck. Decide Part 2. Pain is not your identity. You've been through hell. I get it, but hell is a passage, not a destination. Most men get wounded and build a home in the wound. They turn heartbreak into identity. They turn loss into a lifestyle. They turn regret into religion. You hear it in their voice, in their bitterness, in their blame, in their excuses. But the Stoic path says otherwise. Pain is a test, not a tattoo. You can carry the lesson, or you can carry the story. But if you carry the story, you never leave the battlefield. You never become more than what hurt you. And that, brother, is the real death. Part 3. Fire destroys, fire transforms. You want to reset your mind? Start here. Burn the past. All of it. Not with revenge, not with shame, with clarity. Write it all down. The failure, the heartbreak, the mistake, the regret, every ghost, every scar, every weight. Write it with cold honesty, then light the match. Burn the paper, burn the memory, burn the weak man who clung to it. Because fire doesn't just destroy, it transforms. It melts the metal, it hardens the edge, it reforges the sword. The man you were is gone. Stop trying to resurrect him. Build the one who was meant to rise. Part 4. Let her go, she left. She changed. She hurt you. You loved her. You gave her everything, you trusted her, and she broke it. Now your mind replays it. Her voice, her face, the betrayal. You wonder if she ever thinks about you. You wonder if it was your fault. You wonder if she's happier now. Stop. She's gone. And if she was meant for your path, she wouldn't have stepped off it. This chapter is not about her. It's about you. Every second you obsess over her is a second you abandon yourself. You're not here to be someone's memory. You're here to become unforgettable. She walked away from a weak man. Make sure she never meets the strong one. Don't waste the rest of your life speculating about others. It keeps you from your own work. Marcus Aurelius. Forgive her in silence. Let go with no goodbye. Then go build the man she can never touch again. Part 3. Forgive yourself or die slowly. The past isn't just made of people. It's made of you. The old you. The man who quit. The man who lied. The man who betrayed his own standards. And if you're honest, that man disgusts you. But here's what Stoicism teaches. You don't bury him with shame. You bury him with action. You become so disciplined, so focused, so forged in purpose that he couldn't survive in your skin anymore. You don't forgive yourself with words. You forgive yourself with work. Every time you choose growth, you put distance between you and who you used to be. That's redemption. That's rebirth. That's the reset. Part 6. The power of present tense. The Stoics didn't live in memory. They lived in momentum. Every day was a new test. A new chance to embody virtue, strength, purpose. That's why Marcus Aurelius reminded himself constantly, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. If you die today, do you want your last thoughts to be about what went wrong, or about who you're becoming? The present is all you own. It's the only field you can fight in, the only forge you can shape in, the only moment where change is real. So stop staring at the ruins. Start building the fortress. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to do now. Part 7. Cut the rope. You ever seen a hot air balloon try to take off with ropes still attached? It fights. It shakes. It tries to rise, but it can't. That's most men. Trying to rise, while still tied to who they were. You can't drag the past into your future. You can't become a stoic warrior while still whining like a wounded child. Cut the rope, cut the guilt, cut the overthinking, cut the fantasies about what should have happened. It didn't, and it won't. This is your war now. To drop what no longer serves you, and fight for the version of you that's still waiting to be built. He's not in your memories. He's not in your heartbreak. He's not in your fantasies. He's in your discipline, your focus, your cold daily choices. Part 8. Tactical reset. Letting go in practice. Let's make it real. Here's how you burn the past and forge the present. Stoic style burn letter exercise. Write every regret, heartbreak, pain, mistake on paper. Be brutal. Be honest. Burn it. Ritual matters. Make it real. One sentence philosophy. Create a daily sentence that grounds you. I am not what I lost. I am what I choose. Read it every morning. Make it law. Presence anchor. Every time your mind goes back, use breath or body, cold shower, push-ups, deep breath. Anchor into now. Digital ghost cleanse. Block her. Delete the messages. Clean your files. The past needs no access. Sever it. Build streaks. Stack daily wins. New habits. New momentum. Nothing rewrites your story faster than consistent ruthless action. Create a no-return reminder. A photo, a symbol, a mark, something that reminds you you're never going back. Part 9. The warrior who rose from ashes. You ever hear the story of the phoenix? It doesn't die in silence. It dies in flame. So it can rise again. Sharper, cleaner, newer. That's you. You're not here to be a survivor. You're here to be reborn. Burn the boy who was weak. Burn the man who made excuses. Burn the victim. Burn the addict. Burn the one who broke. Then rise with nothing left of them. Let people wonder how you became so calm, so cold, so unshakable. Let them try to understand how you went from broken to bulletproof. You don't owe them an answer. You owe yourself the transformation. Part X. Final words. The past will always call. That's what ghosts do. They whisper. They seduce. They remind. But you're not answering anymore. You're not haunted. You're hardened. You're not broken. You're rebuilt. You're not who you were. You're who you choose, right now, to become. So burn it all. Burn the excuses. Burn the memories. Burn the versions of you that never made it. Then walk out of the fire. New, silent, sharp, untouchable. Your emotions are not your enemy, but they are not your master either. That's where most men fail. They feel, and they stop. They feel, and they fold. They feel, and they lose. Anger, fear, sadness, heartbreak. They let the emotion lead, and the mission dies in silence. You want to rise? You want to win? Then you need to feel everything, and obey none of it. This chapter is war. War against emotional slavery. War against letting how you feel dictate what you do. Part 9. The emotional trap. You've been taught your emotions are sacred, that you must express them, that every tear, every breakdown, every outburst is just being real. No, that's just being ruled. There's nothing sacred about chaos, nothing noble about weakness. Stoicism doesn't tell you to suppress emotions. It tells you to own them, to face them with cold clarity, to see them as tools, not gods. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca, most of your pain isn't real. It's emotional noise, amplified by overthinking. You feel something, and you build a story around it, and that story becomes a prison. You don't need freedom of emotion. You need freedom from emotion. Part 2. Control versus suppression. Let's be clear. A Stoic man doesn't hide his emotions. He studies them. He commands them. He doesn't deny fear. He walks through it anyway. He doesn't erase heartbreak. He uses it as fuel. Suppressing your emotions makes you weak in the shadows, but obeying them makes you weak in the light. Control is the middle path, the Stoic path. Emotions are natural. Emotional action is optional. You feel rage? Good. Now use it to train harder. You feel sadness? Good. Now use it to go deeper in your purpose. Emotions are signals, not steering wheels. They inform, but you decide where to drive. Part 3. Pain is the path you will be hurt. You will be rejected. You will be disappointed. You will feel lonely, betrayed, forgotten. Good. That's where your edge is carved. Most men try to escape pain. They run to distractions, to porn, to validation, to cheap pleasure. They try to drown the feeling and end up drowning in regret. You walk into the fire. You use the pain, not as a crutch, as a forge. Every time you feel like breaking, you choose to build instead. You lift when you want to collapse. You write when you want to scroll. You work when you want to disappear. That's the Stoic code. Turn pain into power. Feel nothing. Move forward. Part 4. Heartbreak is a gift. You got hurt. She left. She betrayed you. She chose someone else. Good. Now, use it. Most men get soft after heartbreak. They spiral. They lose themselves. They break routine. They chase, beg, cry, collapse. They become slaves, not to her, but to their own emotions. Not you. You turn cold, not cruel. Cold. You walk in silence. You train with fire. You grind without apology. She took a piece of you. Let it stay gone. What's being rebuilt now is stronger, smarter, untouchable. It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. Epictetus, she didn't ruin you. You're doing that all on your own. Change the meaning. Change the man. Part fee. Cold logic. Over chaos in war, the man who acts on emotion dies first. In heartbreak, in failure, in loss, it's the same. Emotional men collapse. Cold men calculate. You don't scream. You don't beg. You don't break things. You sit in the storm and still. You analyze. You adapt. You execute. Cold logic says, this happened. I did not die. What is the next right action? That's Stoicism, not the absence of pain, the refusal to be ruled by it. Every time you choose logic over chaos, you become more dangerous, more stable, more respected, more free. Part 6. How to build Stoic. Emotional power. This isn't theory. Here's how you train emotional control like a warrior. Sit with it. No phone, no music, just sit. Let the emotion rise. Observe it. Don't react. Don't run. Let it pass. Write the enemy name, the feeling. Write it down. I feel betrayed. I feel jealous. I feel weak. Now counter it. So what? What now? What must be done? Cold showers, physical challenges. Daily discomfort sharpens your emotional tolerance. When your body submits, your mind soon follows. No contact. No emotional feed. If it's heartbreak, cut all ties. You can't heal while bleeding. Use rejection. As redirection, ask, what is this teaching me? You'll find purpose where you thought you'd find pain. Keep moving, walk. Train, work, clean, create. Action kills overthinking. And overthinking is where emotion breeds decay. Part 7. Don't react. Respond. The Stoic warrior doesn't react. He responds. Reaction is immediate, emotional, weak. Response is chosen, calculated, cold. Someone disrespects you? Don't explode. Smile, note it. Withdraw your energy. You got rejected? Don't chase. Level up. Replace. Forget. You feel afraid? Don't freeze. Prepare. Train. Walk in anyway. Every time you react, they win. Every time you respond, you rule. Your ability to remain calm when others panic, focused when others cry, stoic when others shatter. That's your edge. And the world respects the cold man, because cold men don't beg. They build. Part 8. Emotional control in daily life. This is where you train it, not just in tragedy, but in the small things. Late response? No reaction. Stupid comment online? No reaction. Feeling lazy? No negotiation. Craving her attention? No contact. Let every small test become a moment of mastery. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And if you can master the micro, you'll dominate the macro. This is your chance to train. Every annoyance, every trigger, every urge. A weapon for you to sharpen your control. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Epictetus, this is the glory, not in avoiding pain, but in rising above it. Part 9. Emotion is fuel, not fire. Let it build. Let it rise. But don't let it burn your house down. Emotion is fuel. Use it to lift heavier, to work harder, to write clearer, to move faster. Let pain make you precise. Let rejection make you dangerous. Let heartbreak make you unreachable. But never let it break your discipline. You want to be respected? Control your face. You want to be powerful? Control your tone. You want to be unbreakable? Control your energy. Power isn't in how loud you are, it's in how still you remain. Part X. Final orders. Feel nothing. Move forward, not because you're numb, but because you're focused. Not because you're cold-hearted, but because your mission is too sacred to abandon over a temporary emotion. You are not your heartbreak. You are not your fear. You are not your anger. You are the discipline that moves anyway. The men who change the world don't cry their way through it. They grind silently. They bleed with intention. They burn clean and rise cold. So when emotion rises, you don't collapse. You breathe, you clench your jaw, you lock in and you keep marching, because that's what warriors do. They feel everything, obey nothing, and finish the mission. You don't need to tell the world you're changing. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to post your progress. You need to shut your mouth and rebuild in silence, because silence is lethal. While everyone else flexes fake wins and shallow confidence, you vanish. You disappear into your own war zone. You stop talking and you start forging. Let them wonder where you went. Let them doubt you. Let them forget your name. When the time is right, your presence will say everything your mouth never had to. Part I. Silence is strength. Today's world wants noise. It feeds on it. Status updates, stories, performances, proof. Everyone shouting, "Look at me." That's not strength. That's weakness disguised as relevance. Because a strong man doesn't broadcast. He builds. He doesn't announce his process. He masters it. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. You don't need applause. You need results. You don't need to prove anything. You need to become something. Real power doesn't need a platform. It needs silence and execution. Part 2. They won't understand. People won't get it when you go silent. When you stop replying instantly. When you stop hanging out. When you say no. When you disappear from the scene, they'll call you cold, arrogant, selfish, detached. Let them. You're not here to explain. You're not here to make them feel safe. You're here to build a version of you so dangerous that the old crowd doesn't even recognize your shadow. This is not about loneliness. This is about focus. Most people lose because they spread themselves. Too thin, too many opinions, too many attachments, too much talking. You're on a mission. You're no longer reachable. You're untouchable. Part 3. Isolation is the furnace. Real transformation doesn't happen in front of a crowd. It happens in the shadows, in silence, in solitude. The gym when no one's watching, the late nights reading, the early mornings, journaling, the cold walks in deep thought, the discipline no one sees. You become unbreakable when no one is clapping, because comfort craves audience. But discipline loves privacy. The Stoics knew this. They withdrew from noise, not because they feared the world, but because they were too focused on fortifying the self. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Epictetus, your attention is your most sacred weapon. Guard it with silent violence. Part 4. Stop posting, start building. You post because you want validation. You want to be seen, you want someone to say you're doing great. But here's the truth, the world doesn't care. And if it does, it distracts you. Validation is a drug. And every like, comment, proud of you, hit, keeps you from doing the work in silence. Rebuilding requires zero announcement. You don't need to tell the world you're focused. You just need to focus. Delete the post. Shut down the performance. Close the window. And open the forge. Let your progress speak. When you're too focused to speak at all. Part 5. Cut the noise. Cut the people. Rebuilding in silence means cutting access. Everyone doesn't deserve access to you while you're healing. While you're training. While you're rebuilding brick by brick, some people want the old you. The distracted one, the soft one, the emotional one, the available one. Kill that version. Kill him in silence. Kill him with consistency. You owe no one the version of you that broke. This season is about sacrifice. Cut the group chats. Cut the drama. Cut the endless "what you been up to" calls. No explanations. Just distance. This is the silence that saves your life. Part 6. Vanish. Re-emerge. Shock them. There is a moment in every Stoic man's life where he must vanish to be reborn. No goodbyes. No breakdowns, no revenge, just stillness. You disappear, you get quiet, you execute, you let them sleep on you, you let them forget you, you let them talk behind your back, and when they least expect it, you re-emerge, stronger, harder, colder, focused. And suddenly, the man they once knew is gone, replaced by someone dangerous, calm, deadly efficient. They'll ask what happened to you. You won't explain. Your discipline will. Part 7. The Stoic blueprint for silent rebuild. Let's make it tactical. Here's how you rebuild in silence. Digital disappearance logout. Stop posting. Turn your phone off for 8 to 10 hours daily. No updates, no check-ins. Total blackout mode. Dark hours work blocks. Work early, work late. Train when others sleep. Read while others scroll. Build while others party. Monk mode routine. Daily non-negotiables. Wake early. Train hard. Eat clean. Journal. Study Stoic texts. Execute on your mission. No access policy only. 2 to 3 people get your time. Cut the rest. Your circle shrinks. Your power grows. 1-sentence mission. Every morning repeat, I don't owe noise, I owe results. Disappear with purpose. Don't ghost the world emotionally. Ghost it strategically. This isn't social withdrawal. This is tactical invisibility. Part 8. Who you become in silence, you will be misunderstood. You will be called distant. You will be labeled changed. Good. That's the point. Silence isn't isolation. It's incubation. This is where the man you should have been is finally forged without their voices, without their opinions, without their access. Just you, your pain, your mission, your inner command. And when the world finally sees you again, it won't recognize you, because the man who went into silence is not the man who's coming out. Part 9. Make silence a weapon. You want power? You want mystery? You want control? Then say less. Show less. Expose less. Make your progress a question. Mark, make your silence loud, make your energy rare. Silence builds anticipation. It makes people uncomfortable. It makes you unreadable. You stop being predictable. You stop being weak. You become strategic. He who does not reveal himself cannot be attacked. Marcus Aurelius. You want to stop being used, judged, doubted, distracted. Then close the gates, let only the mission hear your voice. Part X. Final command, you're not here to perform. You're here to rebuild. You're not here to impress. You're here to transform, and that transformation happens when the world is quiet, and your fire starts burning alone. So vanish. Bleed in silence. Break in silence. Heal in silence. Train in silence. And when the time comes, you return like a ghost forged in steel. No words, no explanation, just results. Deadly, focused, unrecognizable. The weak version of you wanted attention. The real version only wants revenge through excellence. So don't talk, don't show, just vanish and come back unbreakable. You weren't built for comfort. You were built for conquest, and yet you've been trained to chase pleasure like a starving dog. Endless comfort, instant gratification, quick highs, fast food, fast sex, fast rewards. But pleasure has a dark side. It feels like freedom, but it makes you a slave. Purpose is the antidote. Purpose is the weapon. Purpose is the path. Because once a man finds purpose, pleasure starts looking like poison. The pleasure trap. You wake up tired and reach for your phone. Scroll, laugh, consume. You feel empty, so you eat junk. Feel bored, so you open porn. Feel unworthy, so you chase likes, and you tell yourself you're just relaxing. But you're not relaxing, you're escaping. Pleasure is easy, and that's exactly why it's dangerous. Every time you chase it, you abandon your purpose. You train your mind to obey comfort, not command. No man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus, and self-mastery starts where cheap pleasure dies. Part 2. Comfort makes you forget who you are. You didn't start soft. You were born with instinct, fire, focus, but it got buried by couches, by Netflix, by snacks, by porn, by safety, by luxury. Now you're addicted to feeling good, but feeling good is the enemy of becoming great. You think a few more off days won't hurt. You think a few indulgences won't kill the mission. But comfort doesn't just slow you down, it kills your urgency. And a man with no urgency is already dead. Part 3. Purpose gives pain a meaning. You want to escape pain? Good luck. You'll never outrun it. Pain will find you. In heartbreak, in failure, in regret, in old age. But if you have purpose, pain becomes fuel. Suddenly, pain isn't something you run from. It's something you run on. The early mornings? Worth it. The loneliness? Worth it. The discomfort? Essential. Because it's all pushing you toward something bigger than yourself. That's why purpose matters. It gives you a reason to suffer with strength, not with excuses. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Nietzsche, adopted by Stoic mindset. Pain without purpose breaks you. Pain with purpose builds you. Part 4. The mission. Over the moment, pleasure says now. Purpose says later. Pleasure says you deserve this. Purpose says earn it. Pleasure says take the easy path. Purpose says climb the mountain. And every day, every hour, you're choosing between those two voices. You want the results? Then stop letting the weaker voice win. You'll never build a legacy off dopamine. You'll never earn respect by feeling good. You'll never become a man of substance by chasing ease. You win when the mission matters more than the mood. Part F. Find your purpose or die. Slowly, you're not just lost, you're purposeless. You drift because you have no direction. You're addicted to pleasure because you have no North Star. So find it. Ask yourself, what breaks your heart? What fills your chest with fire? What problem were you built to solve? Who needs you at your strongest? Don't just live for money or happiness. Live for meaning, because when a man finds meaning, he becomes bulletproof. You think she left you for another man? No, she left you because you had no mission, no edge, no plan, no direction. Purpose makes you magnetic, focused, grounded, silent. Deadly. Part 6. How to kill pleasure, live purpose. Here's how you starve the addiction and resurrect your mission. Cut all instant gratification for 30 days, no porn, no junk food, no scrolling. Replace with movement, journaling, cold showers, and reading. Define a 90-day mission, one goal, one target, full focus. Every decision flows through. Does this serve the mission? Use time blocks, not emotion. Set deep work hours. Set training windows. Never wait to feel like it. You move by command. Journal daily, pain into purpose. What did you suffer today? Why does it matter? What did it build? Postpone all rewards. Delay your dopamine. Finish the task first. Then earn the hit. Become bored without shame. You don't need constant entertainment. Let boredom sharpen you like a blade. Part 7. Replace the high with the hunt. Here's the truth. You will always crave something. Your brain wants a mission, and if you don't give it one, it will manufacture one. That's why men become addicted to games, to women, to validation, to fake drama. The Stoic man doesn't run from that energy. He redirects it. He turns the need to conquer into the need to build. He turns lust into ambition. He turns addiction into mastery. You'll always want a high. So make the high your hunt. The hunt for excellence. The hunt for clarity. The hunt for stillness. The hunt for control. That's the new pleasure. Waking up and knowing you are winning the war. Part 8. Purpose makes you immune to distraction. Men with purpose don't flinch at distractions. They don't react to petty drama. They don't break over heartbreak. They don't chase people. Because the mission consumes them. The outside world loses its grip. Pleasure loses its pull. People lose their power. Purpose makes you unreachable by things that used to break you. Why? Because when you're building something bigger than yourself, you don't have time to feel sorry for yourself. That's power. That's Stoicism. That's what turns a man from fragile to formidable. Part 9. The warrior who chooses pain. Think of the great men. The ones who conquered. The ones who left legacies. The ones who were feared, respected, remembered. Do you think they lived for pleasure? No. They lived for duty, for philosophy, for vision, for legacy. They chose pain. They invited pain. They saw pleasure as a soft poison and refused the dose. They lived by law, not by emotion. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think. Marcus Aurelius, that's not fear. That's urgency. You could die today. So why waste another moment on things that weaken you? Choose pain. Choose pressure. Choose the mission, and let pleasure beg for your attention. Part X. Final command. You want to reset your mind? Then flip the switch. Stop living for what feels good. Start living for what is right. You will be tempted. You will feel cravings. You will feel pulled back into softness. Stand your ground. The man you were before, he needed pleasure to feel alive. But the man you're becoming, he only needs purpose. So wake up and declare, this day is mine. This pain is mine. This mission is mine. I will not bow to the cheap pleasure that broke me. Let the weak man chase pleasure. Let him scroll. Let him relapse. Let him quit. But not you. You are no longer driven by the high. You are forged in the hunt. And when the world offers you comfort, you smile in silence and walk the harder path because you've seen the truth. Pleasure fades. Purpose remains forever. You are not behind because of fate. You are behind because of you. You lied to yourself. You coddled yourself. You made excuses. You avoided the mirror. And now you're here, stuck, drifting, ashamed. But there's a way out. And it doesn't start with motivation, it starts with ruthless self-honesty and cold logic. This chapter is not about healing. This chapter is about confrontation. Face the man you really are and not the one you pretend to be. Part A, guiding. Stop lying. You lie more than you know. I'll start tomorrow. I'm just tired. It's not the right time. She was the one. I'm trying. No, you're not. You're avoiding. You're rationalizing. You're hiding from what's true. Lying to the world is bad, but lying to yourself? That's suicide in slow motion. The Stoics were clear. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. Epictetus, until you drop the lies, you will never level up. And here's the first truth you need to accept. You are exactly where your choices put you. Part 2. Emotion clouds. Truth, you can't see clearly because your feelings are in the way. You feel like you're trying. You feel like it was unfair. You feel like you've been working hard. Feelings are not facts. Feelings are not a compass. Cold logic is. Logic doesn't care about your mood. It calculates. It examines the evidence. It strips away the noise. You're overweight? Logic says you eat too much, move too little, you're broke. Logic says you waste time, you lack discipline, you don't execute, you're heartbroken. Logic says she saw weakness and left. It stings. Good. That sting is the edge of the truth slicing through your illusion. Now lean into it. Part 3. Why men stay stuck. Most men don't grow because they're protecting their ego. They want to feel good more than they want to become great. So they blame others. They point fingers. They replay old wounds. They talk instead of change. But the Stoic path demands brutal accountability. There is no room for stories. There is only results. You must stop being unhappy with yourself. You are the cause of your own suffering. Marcus Aurelius, if your life is a mess, your habits made it. Your thinking made it. Your weakness fed it, and only you can rebuild it. Part 4. Inventory of weakness. Take inventory. Right now. Pull the mirror out. Where are you soft? Where? Are you fake? Where are you coasting? Do you scroll more than you work? Do you seek attention more than you build skill? Do you avoid hard conversations? Do you train inconsistently? Do you eat like a child? Do you chase women because you lack a mission? Do you lie to yourself about trying? Be honest, don't justify, don't cushion, don't dilute, write it all down. Every flaw, every habit, every fear. This is not for shame, this is for war, because if you don't know what's broken, you'll never fix it. Part 3. You chose this. Everything you hate about your life was something you either created aloud or ignored. Own that. You're not a victim of circumstance. You're a participant in your own collapse. The late nights, the skipped routines, the ignored red flags, the self-pity, the avoidance of work. You built the prison, now build the key. Once you stop blaming and start dissecting, you stop bleeding. And in that cold self-audit, you begin to reset. Part 6. Build a code. Follow it. Without a code, you are a leaf in the storm. Blown by emotion, distraction, pain. You don't rise by accident. You rise by design. And that design is your code. Your code is what you allow, what you chase, what you tolerate, what you become. So write your laws. Example: wake at 5 a.m. No negotiation. Train daily. No excuses. Zero emotional reactions. Only strategy. No contact with what weakens me. Eat like a warrior, not a child. Speak less. Execute more. No chasing pleasure, only purpose. Your code must be cold, tactical, unbreakable. Because when emotion rises, your code becomes your compass. Part 7. Cut the dead weight. You will never reset your mind while surrounded by people who feed your weakness. If they laugh at your discipline, or you cut them. If they normalize failure, cut them. If they distract you, cut them. You don't need cheerleaders. You need warriors around you, men who sharpen you, Men who hold you accountable. Men who don't care how you feel, they care what you do. Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Seneca, this isn't cruelty, it's clarity. Your time is too valuable to spend it explaining your grind to people who gave up on theirs. Part 8. Surgical self-discipline. Once the lies are cut, the code is written, and the people are cleared, now comes surgical execution. Discipline isn't just action, it's targeted precision. You stop reacting, you start measuring. You track your days like a sniper watches targets. Wake time, training, nutrition, output, stillness, learning, zero emotion, just calculated domination. Every weak thought replaced with action. Every craving replaced with movement. Every doubt replaced with data. You don't hope anymore. You hunt. Part 9. Brutal ownership ritual. Here's how you keep yourself honest. Daily, evening audit, 10 min. Ask, where did I fail? Where did I lie? Where was I soft? Write it, read it, face it. Cold shower reset. Every day, no matter what. Discomfort trains control. Silence before sunrise, 15 minutes alone, no phone. Just you and the truth. One question journal. What is the weakest part of me trying to avoid today? Face it. Attack it. Burn the excuse list. Write every excuse you told yourself this week. Burn it. Literally. Then train. This is how you sharpen self-awareness into a weapon. Part X. Final command. The weak man in you wants to be told, you're okay. But you're not. You're behind. You're undisciplined. You're distracted. You're full of emotional noise. That's the bad news. Here's the good news. You built this mess, which means you can rebuild something better, sharper, stronger, stoic, but only if you stop lying. Only if you drop the mask. Only if you audit yourself with no mercy. Because the truth, no matter how brutal, is the first door to freedom. And once you walk through that door, everything changes. No more fluff. No more fake progress. No more hoping. Just cold logic. Brutal truth. And a man finally ready to rise. You've heard the words, you've felt the call, now comes the decision. Reset your mind. Or rot in silence. Because no one's coming. Not your ex, not your friends, not your family, not motivation. You. You are the only one who can burn the weak man down and forge something colder, harder, unbreakable in his place. So what's it going to be? Another week wasted on cheap pleasure? Another month lost to scrolling, fantasizing, waiting, or does it start now? You've been given the weapons. Silence over noise, discipline over chaos, present over past pain, over comfort purpose, over pleasure logic, over emotion, truth over illusion. The code is clear. The laws are written, but laws don't matter unless you live them. So stop talking, stop fantasizing, stop saying, I'm trying. Kill the weak voice. Listen to the one that's been whispering for years. Wake up, stand up, become him, reset, or stay a slave. This is your final warning. Now move, silently, ruthlessly, unstoppably.